How's it going, YouTube? I'm going to test this knife, and this is a Sogzilla. We're just going to cut this tree up with it, and before I get too serious with it, blade lockup is good. There's 0 play in it. It locks up very, very good, and we'll do some checks on that after we get done. Well, alright. Tree was dying anyway. Little maple. But get to cutting on it. I mean, a lot of this is you can do, cut a little bit of relief cut, and when you're out in the wilderness, and hopefully this is not all you have, but if it just so happens to be all you had on you at the time, it wouldn't hurt to know if it's capable of performing these kind of tasks. And see, like that notch right there, and you can bend it over, and it makes it a lot easier. And this stick could serve a few purposes, different purposes, in your survival, like using it to hold a pot or pan up and over a campfire, or something of that nature. I'm just gonna go around. I do feel the blades kind of feels like when I do that, I don't know if you can see that on camera. When you put a lot of pressure on it, that blade kinda, you probably can't see it, but it probably a little bit loose, but not enough to do it with your hands like that. I don't know what kind of steel they use on these things, but so you do something like that and break it. Use your muscles or your strength, because I mean, if you sit there, you could whittle all day with this thing, and it might, you eventually get through it, but it's better to work a little less on that when you can do something as easy as bending it over with your hand. So basically, sharpen that up a little bit, and this one happened to have a little fork in it, and just pretend for this video that this is our campfire. If that's our campfire, you could push this in the ground right here, or maybe find a little softer area. That might be too tall, might be alright. And then you go and get you another limb, which I will find in a minute. Let's see what we got over here. Those are not great. Here we go. This might work. Well, it's dead anyway. Okay. Run this setup right here. That would be too tall, but you kind of get the picture. And I would probably just make it a little shorter. something like that would be probably a little better. And you run this, say you got a smaller campfire, you can actually take this right here, do that, break it. This knife is pretty sharp out of the box. It probably wouldn't hurt to give it a good sharpen. The serrated part kind of helps with, you know, if you want to saw into something or make something, it does help. But you kind of put that there if you wanted to hang your pot off of it or pan. And you take these two stakes you just got back here and stake them in the ground, hit them in with a rock if you had to. The ground's a little bit wet over here, so we'll be good with that. And that way you can put your pot and pan on it. Or, you know, hang a little pot over your fire. That's probably too short, but you can move it back a little bit like that, and it'll raise this up higher the further back you go. You just don't want to do it too far back, because then what'll happen is it'll put too much pressure on these points over here. But if you drive these in with a rock or a hammer or whatever, back of an axe, and then there you go. And so you can take this right here and hang your pot or pan on it and cook it over your make-believe fire. And anyway, after using it just now for these, I mean, it's the first time I've used this knife, I can already see, you won't be able to catch this on video, I don't think, but right here, that tooth right there, that tooth is a little bent, and that's probably from me going into here like this and peeling up like that, caused one of the teeth to bend. Actually, that one's a little bit bent too, and it's kind of hard to see it, but lockup's still good. Still solid knife. The grips aren't too bad. I think it says fiberglass reinforced grips. Kind of reminds me of a G10 grip, but it's just a Sog knife. Probably got Chinese steel, Chinese or Japanese or something along those lines. But we'll see how good it holds up an edge on it, and probably see more of this knife in future videos if I don't break it or lose it. If I break it, y'all definitely hear about it. But I mean, you take that, and this is a green tree, so you really wouldn't want to use that for fire starter. But you see, like stuff like that, you can make these notches. There's other ways to hang stuff from this. The pan that I use is a Stanley, it's actually, I guess, a cooking pot, but it's got a metal hanger on it, and you know, you can hang it here or whatever, and you know, cook over your fire or heat some water up, boil water to drink or whatever. So anyways, that's my video on the Sogzilla lockback EDC knife. I would not get it. It's really thin, really thin. Ain't got no blade wobble. I mean, I can bend it, but I'm bending the actual blade. The blade's got a little bit of flex to it, but as far as blade wobble goes in here, there isn't any play in it, and that's what you really want to look for when getting a knife, you know, folding knife. You want to make sure it ain't got a lot of play right here. Make sure it ain't got a lot of play up in the, you know, the back section like these cheaper knives you see. And you And I like this right here I'm a big Spyderco fan, so you know, having this hole right here, it's kind of like having a Spyderco hole. You can put you a zip tie in here and catch it on your pocket when you're opening it. You know, when you pull it out of your pocket, it'll open the knife, and it's a really deep pocket carry. You can see by this clip right here. So in the pocket, it's going to be really deep in there. It's got a lanyard hole. I've got lanyards on my Spyderco, and just out here enjoying a little nature and making some YouTube videos. And that about wraps it up for this knife right here. Not bad for $7. Originally it was $29.99 at Walmart, and they had these for $7, and wasn't a very bad deal at all. And it's kind of little. And I've got my Spyderco, trying to remember the model of this one. I don't remember the model. It's the next size up from its niche. This is about the same size as a Paramilitary 2, I believe, or a Paramilitary, I can't remember. But blade different. This one's got a 4 1/4 inch blade on this Spyderco, and you can see, you know, length differences on that. So I'm guessing this is probably a 3 1/2 inch blade, and probably tells you on the box 3.25, so 3 1/4 inch blade, overall length of 7 inches, or 7.35 inches. It's got the 8CR13 MOV blade steel, satin finish, glass reinforced nylon handle. So I'm guessing it's glass reinforced, which they're probably talking about fiberglass. It's a pretty tough little knife. I'm going to use it on some future videos and see how that goes. But glass reinforced handle, satin polished blade. Not too bad, not for $7. And anyway, that's it. And this is I'll save this for another video. This is my Spyderco, and I'll get some more info on that thing. And that wraps up my video for today. Thank you for watching. This is Greer Boy Production, and I'm out.